Good Monday morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. And in today's weather forecast, we're going to be going over the threats for severe storms, and then we're also going to be going over the flash flood threats, which we have 3 days that have a rare high risk for flash flooding, which means historic flooding is likely. So we will be going over that, and then we'll also be talking about how Debbie is already starting to make landfall and what we can expect from the impacts as she continues. So definitely be on high alert already if you do live in the bend of Florida, which is where the Panhandle connects to the other part, and then also continue to be on high alert across Georgia, the Carolinas, and as well as areas farther to the north. Let's first go ahead and take a look at what we can expect for today. And as you guys can see, we do have a slight risk for severe storms, one across the lower Great Lakes and into parts of the upper Midwest. So places like southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, into northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and even parts of Lake Michigan will be at risk for the potential of severe weather. And then we got a bigger slight risk heading from Maine that heads through New Hampshire, New York, northern Pennsylvania, northern Ohio, and even into Southeast Michigan looks to be at risk for severe storms. Southeast Michigan wasn't at risk yesterday for severe storms today, but they actually did get upgraded to a slight risk, unfortunately. So if you do live in that yellow color, we could be seeing some scattered damaging winds and as well as some large hail, but the places that we expect there to be the worst is mainly across Florida, where we could still be seeing the potential for a few tornadoes, but also I would probably say more up here across the upper Midwest, where we do have a 5% risk for tornadoes rather across that area. And then across that entire site risk, we also got a 15% risk for damaging winds and even large hail. So all hazards in play will be in place for southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, southern Wisconsin, and as well as northern Illinois. So if you do live in that area, please be on high alert for everything, including large hail and damaging winds. Let's now go ahead and look at tomorrow's threat, and as you can see, we do still have that marginal threat continuing across parts of the Ohio Valley heading into the Mid-Atlantic, so that area still needs to continue to be on somewhat high alert, but it's not anything crazy though. But we also do have that slight risk in effect for parts of central Montana, which the threats in play will be a damaging wind and hail threat. Let's look at the flash flood threat now, okay? And as you guys can see, we got two slight risk up here, one for New England and then another one heading from southeast North Dakota all the way down into northwest Ohio. So a big corridor to be watching for today, but we're especially watching down here towards Florida. Look at that. We have a rare high risk for flash flooding, which indicates at least a 70% chance of seeing flash flood guidance. So we will definitely need to be watching extremely closely for today, guys. This is not looking good because you guys could be in great danger for today. You guys could be seeing even historic flooding already. So you guys already need to be on high alert if you live in Florida, southeast Georgia, heading into southern South Carolina. And then as we do head into day 2, which will be tomorrow, as you guys can see, that rare high risk for flash flooding continues into tomorrow. And then, around that we got that moderate risk in effect. But some other area we need to keep an eye on is this area across southeast Pennsylvania and as well as central New Jersey, where we do have a pretty small but isolated moderate risk for flash flooding. So it's definitely not looking good for you guys either, but we're still mostly going to be paying attention to this area. So guys, please be on high alert in both areas, especially this area down here. And let's finally look at after tomorrow, which will be for Wednesday this week. I can see that rare high risk even continues into day 3, unfortunately, continuing across the Carolinas So that is definitely not going to be good news. Now, let's talk about what each threat of flash flooding means. Starting off with the marginal risk, okay? I know we didn't go over the marginal threats for flash flooding, but that's not going to be the concern for today. But an isolated flash flood is possible when you're in that marginal risk. Localized in primary affecting places that usually experience rapid runoff. So, that kind of means, not very much rainfall expected, but at least enough to where, areas that usually see flooding easily could. And then for scatter flash floods, which is a slight risk for flash flooding, by the way, scatter flash floods will be possible. It's mainly localized still, but many unvariable are unbanned areas, roads, small streams, and washes. Isolated significant flash floods possible. So you can sometimes see as much as 5 inches of rainfall when you are in a slight risk, but if any of that occurs, it would be very isolated, and that will be the main concern across the Great Lakes and Upper Midwest for today. And then for a moderate risk for flash flooding, this is where you guys are kind of in extreme danger. Okay, this is where numerous flash flood events with significant events possible. Many streams will be flood, potentially affecting larger rivers. So that is not very good right there. And then finally, for the highest threat for flash flooding, this is a rare high risk for flash flooding, and this means severe, widespread flash flooding. Areas that don't normally experience flash flooding could lives and property in great danger. So guys, if you guys do live across the Carolina coast, southeast Georgia, and as well as the panhandle of Florida, again, you guys need to really be on high alert for this. We could be talking historic flooding. This is not going to be a very good thing, guys. Please be prepared for historic flooding, or else you will be in great danger. Now, let's look at the tropics now, okay? And as you guys can see, Debbie is already a hurricane. This is a Category 1 hurricane, by the way. And I wish Ryan Hall would go live for this, because he usually does, but when I last checked, he wasn't live for this. So, you guys might have to use some other people for that, unfortunately. But down to the south of that, we got another tropical wave that we're watching, and this tropical wave could very well, make it up there towards the peninsula. So we definitely do need to be watching very closely for this tropical wave to develop into something as it does, continue to head to the west. Kind of like what Tropical Storm Alberto did, where he, pretty much moved across the same area and then pretty much moved into here and developed in that area. But also very similar to Beryl, as it, was pretty much about a hurricane now and continued to the west. So we'll be watching this wave closely. It remains uncertain on if we're going to even be seeing a tropical storm, but we'll have to be watching it closely, and we will keep you guys updated with the latest on that tropical wave. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the cone of uncertainty, and as you guys can see, again, already making landfall across parts of Florida, but this will even continue into southeast Georgia and as well as eastern South Carolina. And as you guys can see, it pretty much stays across the same area, and that's the reason why we have that rare high risk for flash flooding, is because as you guys can see, that will pretty much be a tropical storm for 3 dots. That's pretty much from 2 p.m. Tuesday through 2 a.m. Thursday. So pretty much from Tuesday through Thursday, this tropical storm will bring impacts to South Carolina continuously. So that's the reason why we got that rare high risk for flash flooding. And if we also look at the storm surge, 2 to 4 feet of storm surge will be possible, which is actually worse than, the total rainfall, because, 20 to 30 inches of rainfall is 2 feet, but we're talking the potential up to 4 feet. So double that is literally 8 feet of rain. So, definitely also be on high alert for storm surge along the Carolina coast heading into Georgia. But, even over here, we also got to be watching for storm surge up to 10 feet, which just isn't good, guys. We got to be on high alert for this. This is looking like one of the most historic hurricanes that I've seen. Now, let's look at the tropical storm or the hurricane winds probability. And as you guys can see, no area likely to experience hurricane force winds besides this area right here where Debbie is already a category 1 hurricane, and then it's likely going to continue to bring that hurricane force winds to parts of the dip of Florida. So we'll definitely have to be watching that closely. And this is also the Big Bend of Florida, by the way. Let's look at the total rainfall now, and as you guys can see, look at that. Like I did say, 20 to 30 inches of rainfall will be possible across southeast South Carolina. That is not good, guys. That is not good. Plus, Savannah will also be in for that potential as well. More than likely, we'll just see 16 to 20 inches, but it's so close we could see some isolated higher totals of 20 to 30 inches in this maroon color. And then as you get to the dark red color, which does include Wilmington, 12 to 16 inches of rainfall is likely, which means a foot is also likely, and then 8 to 12 inches will pretty much be that dark orange color right there that you see, which does include Jacksonville, Florida. We could likely see, some rainfall totals as high as 12 inches of rain or 1 foot of rain. And then for the light orange color, which does include Raleigh and as well as some other areas, we could be seeing 6 to 8 inches in that area, which is just as bad as anything else that we're going to be seeing. So definitely be on high alert if you do live in Raleigh. And then as we get to the yellow color, 4 to 6 inches of rainfall will be possible as far north as Richmond, even as far west as Charlotte. So you guys definitely need to be on high alert for that also. And then for the dark green color, which is pretty widespread and heads as far north as Washington D.C., we could be seeing 2 to 4 inches of rainfall as far north as Washington D.C., as you can see. So it's definitely not looking good for them. And then the light green color, which is the most widespread, 1 to 2 inches of rainfall will be possible. So guys, again, it's not looking good for the South Carolina, North Carolina, or the Georgia or Florida coast, so you guys gotta be taking this seriously. I'm serious. And if you guys are needing help on what to do, so whenever you're talking flash flooding, what you need to do is you guys gotta make sure you guys have ways to receive flash flood alerts. That includes either having a weather radio with you or downloading an app to alert you on if there's a flash flood alert. And whenever those get issued, you should know when to seek higher ground. Okay, so seeking higher ground is a big part of flash flooding, because if you were all the way in your basement could have been completely underwater, and that would drown you like crazy. So that's the reason why you got to try to seek higher ground if you can, and that includes going on the highest floor possible. So that's usually the safest spot to go during flash flooding. So that's what to do during flash flooding if you guys needed help for that. So definitely be on high alert in those areas, like I said. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's weather forecast. If you guys are wondering what I'm going to be doing this afternoon, I am planning on doing a live stream this afternoon today, pretty much after I get all my stuff done. So definitely, click that notification bell down below. Don't forget to like, and I do appreciate you guys almost getting me up to 300 subscribers. As soon as we reach 300 subscribers to be exact, I will do a 300 subscriber celebration. So you guys should definitely, be really proud that this channel has been growing a lot. So again, guys, don't forget to like down below, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and especially hit that notification bell so you guys are notified if I do go live this afternoon.